This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
Well, this is Saturday, March 17th, and you have indeed entered overtime. A happy St. Patrick's Day to each and every one of you, particularly those of you still sober enough to be tuning in, or those of you inebriated enough not to know the difference. Either way, your viewership counts with the Nielsen people, and don't think for a second I don't appreciate that. Well, just that quickly, we've turned the page here at Local Sports Central. Basketball is in the rearview mirror, of sorts, and I'm reminded once again of the underrated joy that is the spring sports season. We're out of the gym. Mother Nature is right now more than cooperating, and we've got plenty of sporting fare to sample on the pitch, on the track, and on the diamond ahead. And in that spirit, and since I have not had a moment to craft Dewarisms for you in the last few weeks, let's give you some context on the high school baseball season ahead with a few select power rankings. These are our top 12 teams coming into the season. And remember this about local baseball going forward this year. There really isn't a team in our area that stands out as a definitive number one superpower without a hole to fill. So going into that, in Northeast Missouri, really like the potential of Palmyra above all others in the Clarence Cannon Conference, at least at this point, though we will sort that out in the weeks ahead. Brown County has got a player of the year type kid in Alex Shepard to build their team around. Would like him a little more if Tim Woodward was healthy. That is an issue. Macomb, a team with some issues going forward, but also a really good deep pitching staff and a lot of talent, and a guy in Matt Lawver who can just absolutely kill the baseball. Moving on up the list for you. Team we saw yesterday, we really liked Jacksonville, Illini West, a perennial power who's going to be in that mix, I think. Quincy Notre Dame, likewise going forward, although Chris Martin has a lot of pieces to replace in that offense, a lot of all-state type pieces like Brandon Lee and Daniel Wyman. So we have to see what the Raiders are going to do with the bats. The pitching staff, though, I am told, going to be very deep. And looking at that top four, here's the way we see it going into the season. Liberty is a team that has a potential to do an awful lot of damage. We'll show you why in just a second. Love Scotland County's pitching. Love Scotland County's defense. Got some questions to answer within the lineup, especially with Save Sears now at Culver Stockton. But Ben Shannon, about as good an ace as you'll find in the area. Jacksonville Rout is our number 2 team going into this season. Obviously, you know what Bobby Lonergan's going to bring. You also know that Nick Lonergan is off to a fast start and that Rout produced 16 runs and 17 hits in their first game of the season. So the Rockets, a team to be reckoned with, but our number 1, at least in our opinion, going into the season, the West Hancock Titans, who have probably the only team in the area that have 2 certified aces coming into this season in Paxton Harmon and Austin Hardy, also an outstanding catcher in Kendall Summers going forward. So that's how we see it going into the season in the absence of a Dewarisms. Now let's take a look at your first highlights of the season. That number 4 team on our list, the Liberty Eagles, taking on Bryson Gibbon in Central Southeastern today in Augusta. Gibbon off to a good start in the first inning, pitching very strongly. Jared Shover, though, the ace of staff for the Eagles, in and doing likewise right here. Getting Garrett Kessner right over the hands, throwing that fastball and working it to perfection for one of his 13 Ks in the day. Liberty's offense comes to life a bit in the second inning in this one. Dakota Cantrell touches off a big second inning rally for the Eagles by moving Kobe Brown up to third base. Then it would be Caleb Bridgewater stepping to the plate. Going to go the other way with this one. A little flare into short right field. That's going to score a run. Bryson Gibbon tries to settle in and get back in this one, and he will do exactly that with a strikeout right here. Lane Hansel, though, not having any of that. He's going to touch off a 5-run inning for his team with a little fister right here to third base. That's going to be an infield single. Again, 5 runs at that point. Jared Shover appeared to be cruising, as I mentioned, 13 strikeouts on the day, just 1 earned run. However, things would go awry for him right here. The defense betrays him just a little bit. That should have been out number 3, allows an unearned run to score. Bases loaded. Austin Dormeyer going to step in and just, wow, he's just going to kill this ball. 3-run triple to get his team back to within 5-4. But for all of Central Southeastern's efforts at that point and all the bad luck, Shover settles in nicely, picks up the win today. Final count in this one sees Liberty victorious 16-5 to open the season, looking every bit that top 5 team in the area as we projected them. As I mentioned, or I don't think I mentioned, Austin Dormeyer today with 4 RBIs. Hey, it was Brady Spears Day today in Payson, at least in the first game of a doubleheader. Spears doing everything for the Tigers at Payson Seymour's expense, including getting off to a great start, pitching with a strikeout right there. Then, top of the first, I mentioned Spears. He's going to flirt with a steel monster out there in left field. In the olden days, that would have been a long home run. Here, just a double, an RBI double to put Beardstown up at that point 1-0. Coming up next, John Kramer doing his job with a runner at third base. Just going to swing the bunt right here and score Matthew Watson at that point to make it a 2-0 lead. Then Sam Hardwick, who's an outstanding athlete in a number of different sports, going to do a little work as well, just punching one to short. He's too fast for that. The throw, errant as well. Infield single, scores another one. It's 3-0 just like that. Brady Spears needs a little more on that on the day. He had 5 strikeouts against the heart of the Payson lineup right here. Next inning, Bubba Patterson going to add and contribute more offensively, singling to move Jacob Hollis up into scoring position. Then Brady Spears, who else, going to step up again with a 2-run triple in this one to extend Beardstown's lead at this point out to 6-0. Tigers are really never going to look back in this game. I do want to show you one really nice Payson highlight. Sensational 7-worthy out in left field today from Austin Coltis, who's going to make a great play to rob the Beardstown offense of potentially more runs. Check him out in left field with the sliding catch right here from Mr. Coltis. Good stuff from Austin. Johnny Mannion pitched well. Just not well enough to beat Beardstown today, as Beardstown wins the first game of the doubleheader 8-1 in this one. Second game, though, Payson Seymour bounces back behind a fine effort from Ryan Hildebrand and gets the split today, 4-3 at home. Elsewhere today, South Fulton a sweep. Look out for South Fulton, by the way. Mason Blickenstaff with a 6-hit shutout today and 13 strikeouts in the offing on the road at Illini Central. And then in the second game, it's Macon Blickenstaff again, this time delivering the game-winning RBI in the 9th inning as the Rebels win 6-5 there. We've got some softball for you today over at Lentz Field. Illini West no match for Plainfield Central. And West Prairie shuts out Western today. Taylor Harper, who signed to Lincoln Land, showing off her skills today and her softball chops with a double and a couple of RBIs. As Ross showed you earlier, opening day for soccer, big day for Anna Leonard. She missed the entire basketball season with a concussion. Back, though, and cleared for soccer. More on her later this week. Great first effort right here out of the gate as she's going to hustle and just kind of flick in the goal. Watch it in slow motion. This should have been a card or at least a PK against the keeper from Alleman as she grabs Leonards, but Leonards is having none of it. She's excited to be back. She's got the ponytail whipping around, and she's got the goal. Boy, a very balanced effort today for the Blue Devils as they had 5 different players score 6 goals. Anna Leonard's going to set this one up for the only Blue Devil with multiple goals on the day. That would be this young lady, Miss Kayla Bunch, coming into your screen and punching home a 6-0 Devils win on the day. Congratulations to the Blue Devils. They play again on Monday. Also in soccer today, don't sleep on the Hannibal Lady Pirates. Raylan Charlton and company blowout Marshall today 4-0. Raylan Charlton with a pair of goals in that one. Some basketball scores for those of you who keep track of state championships. I know I do. Peoria Central, your 3A state champion on the boys' side in Peoria tonight, winning 72-64. Also on the day, last check, Proviso East and Simeon were tied at 23. Sorry, don't quite have an update on that one for you. I will get that for you in a second. For some reason, that score never updated again. We can tell you in Missouri today that Salisbury suffers its second loss of the season in an ill time as they lose to Billings in the state championship game 83-79. You may remember Salisbury's only other loss at the KHQA Subway Superfan shootout to West Hancock. Salisbury finishes in second place. Very good team there. And the team that beat Marion County ended their run Eminence today, a winner on the girls' side by 1 over Walnut Grove, 36-35. We should find out more basketball. WBBA All-Star Game, 30th annual. You see Jordan Bays get his team, the South, off to a great start with the 3 in answer. Dalton Hoover playing in his home gym for the last time, knocks down a 3. The Pittsfield native doing everything tonight, doing his best Royce White imitation right here. Finding, oh, look at that. Mr. Dalton open right there for 3 for the long shot right there. The South missing right here. Joey Coonrod from Carrollton, who was your MVP in this game. The South squad, great pass inside to West Central's Parker Day. But in the first quarter, all North in this one. Dalton Hoover, he's kind of feeling it. Once more with feeling, even got up wearing the St. Patrick's Day lime green neon shoes. Poor fashion choice by Dalton. Kid's got skills, though. How am I going to argue? Here might be your play of the day, though. Jordan Obert, who was your North MVP. Look at this three-point play. Whirling dervish stuff for Mr. Obert, the Liberty product, doing work right there. Bucket Band-Aid and the three-point play for him. Dalton Hoover playing hard as well with the block right there, the future Quincy University Hawk everywhere. So, too, Mr. Obert knocking down the long 2 right here, his feet on the line. How about this? More Dalton Hoover. He was going to slam this, I thought, for a second. Nice tip-in, tap-in, if you will, for him. Then more in this one. How about the Volkswagen? Justin Volk from outside from Brown County knocking down the 3. His team up 13 points at this point. Maybe your play of the week Aaron Edwards misses, rebounds from his backside, and finds Dalton Hoover, who cleans up with a three-point play right there. That, my friends, nifty stuff from the speedy Mr. Edwards, who shows off that speed yet again here. North, as I said, building a double-digit lead in the first quarter. Oh, more to come right here, as you will see. Justin Volk again lining up and knocking down the triple in this one for his team. Back the other way, though. South's going to make this interesting. Griggsville Perry's Clayton Myers posts and produces right here. The other end, though, Alex Altmix with the accidental assist, if you will. Air ball to Alex Walter to help the North squad get the victory tonight. Low-scoring affair. Only 227 total points scored. The North, your victors tonight. And congratulations to our friends at WBBA for another class affair tonight. And speaking of WBBA, in advance of tonight's 30th annual All-Star Game, our friends added a new wrinkle to the basketball festivities last night in Griggsville. A Night with the Legends featured a panel discussion with area coaching luminaries, Harry Waggy, Kenny Stouffer, and Max Greer, all telling stories, sharing advice, and just generally entertaining the good people of Pike County. In fact, knowing Harry's reputation as the human filibuster, he may still be speaking as we speak 2 days later. That established, this night served as a reminder of just what an important contribution coaches make to our kids and vice versa.
Truthfully, Chris, I don't know that I really thought about it myself, but I've had so many people just like you that have asked me, and that's when it becomes a reality. When you see that there's kids out here that are, well, they were kids to me, but now they're parents, and I've had their kids, and I've worked with them, and then it becomes, you just hope that they all become good people, good citizens, and do their part in their communities.
I enjoyed the kids, and the kids keep you young, you know, and being around them. But I think the friendships that you make throughout the years, just guys like you. I had my radio show and stuff, and even after coaching, I got to stay part of it. Meeting the referees, the officials, the other coaches, you know, the camaraderie that you get from the people that you've met in your life. They all mean so much to you.
Harry, one of my all-time favorite broadcasters in the area, by the way. He is the only guy I've ever heard make a 3-yard run in football sound like the most important play in the history of humanity. We miss Harry on the radio. Great, great men. It was an awful lot of fun last night. Nice to see them get tribute. By the way, let us talk some volleyball. The Quincy Junior High Schoolers now just 2 wins away from a state championship in 8th grade. Good for them. They beat Summit Hill today in the state quarterfinals. 2-1. I believe they play on March 20th next in the semifinals. Also, our congratulations to the Liberty Gals. They're now just 1 win away from a state championship, improving to 24-2 today, beating Roanoke and beating them like a drum. 25-15, 25-15. Boy, that's a burgeoning power over in Adams County growing there. Nice to see the Adams County volleyball rolling along right now. And as well, our congratulations to Jennifer Turwelp and her Palmers. They take names and kick a little butt today as they end up winning a state championship in the IDTA state meet in Champaign. The Palmers going nuts today. Another state championship for Quincy Notre Dame. The stockpiling continues. And if you've ever seen the Palmers at QD, you know that is a class program as well. So congratulations to those girls as well. And when we come back, we're going to talk some college diamond action, including Culver Stockton heating up big time today at the expense of Benedictine.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
Culver Stockton baseball, hello against Benedictine today, down 2-0 early. But Jose Salas is about to find some wide open grass out in right center field. That's going to score a run on the RBI triple, make it 2-1. Pinch runner is in. It's Sabe Sears out of Scotland County. Look at Andrew Hogan put this ball in play. Look at our man, Sabe Sears, beat the tag. Oh, that is resourceful, my friends. Extending, well, actually tying the game at that point up at 2 apiece. Sergio Hernandez going to lay down the perfect bunt to move the runners up. And the man is safe at that point. That, my friends, would be Mr. Hogan, safe at third base, setting up Andrew Quillis, who's going to pop this one up. And it is played about as poorly as a right fielder can play that. Makes it a 3-2 game at that point. Culver Stockton riding the powerful left arm right here of Eric Burton, who had 7 strikeouts today, 2 hits. Big blow in this one comes courtesy of Quincy Notre Dame product Connor Cramsey. After my battery ran out, of course, a 3-run triple in this ball game, and Culver Stockton gets the win in the second game of the doubleheader, 7-3. The first game a little more eventful, down 1-0. Culver Stockton scores 2 runs on a pass ball and beats Benedictine to secure the sweep today. That, my friends, an impressive run of wins at home for the Wildcats, who I believe are back home again tomorrow. Illinois College making its home debut today. Supposed to be a doubleheader. The second game canceled by the nasty storms that rolled through the Jacksonville area this afternoon. But Westminster does win the first game over the Blue Boys 9-5. T.J. Albers with a 3-run homer for the cause for the Blue Boys there. Quincy University, though, on the road and destroying Northern Kentucky today. Curran Collins with 5 RBIs in the first game, and Aaron Priestesses, we'll go with that, with a game-winning RBI in the 12th inning to secure the doubleheader sweep for the Hawks today. Josh Raby's team cleaning up this weekend to start off a very nice conference run on the road. How about the Quincy University women's softball today at home? Second game against Drury. Boy, this one was all about stifling defense and great pitching. Speaking of stifling defense, Sam O'Brien flashing some gold glove type stuff at second base right there in support of this young lady, Lauren Francis, who was pretty much working it in the second game. She won the first game. This was a much more impressive effort on the hill. She strikes out the Drury threat right here. She also got some help behind the plate from her battery mate, Laura Molinar, who throws out the attempted base stealer right there. Little arm action. Still at this point in the 4th inning, Quincy University hitless until Ashley Rossetti hits this long double. I tell you what, it would take a yeoman effort from Drury third baseman to keep the Lady Hawks from putting a rally together here. Miss Tops pops up. Look at Amber Hayden, the third baseman, just sliding and making a fantastic grab. All for naught, though, in the 6th inning, which is usually when the Lady Hawks rally back. They did it again today. Alana Viken comes up with a home run. Turns out to be your game winner as the Hawks pull off the sweep today, beating Drury in the second game of the doubleheader 2-0. Important note in the first game, which the Lady Hawks won 8-4. Kelsey Lee, the Q&D product, with her first collegiate home run in that one. Lady Hawks hit a couple of home runs in that game. I believe Alana Viken had another one there, 2 on the day, as the Lady Hawks start to kind of find some momentum once they get into league play. 2-0 this weekend, couple more games. Ross Green will have those highlights for you coming up tomorrow. Also today, Western Illinois destroys South Dakota State 13-1 today. Also on the docket, HLG taking on Iowa Wesleyan, a split today. And the second game, the one which the Lady Trojans won, it was Megan Skinner providing some offensive pop, going 3 for 3 at the plate and delivering a couple of RBIs. Well, it is that time again, kids. Every week in this spot, we will salute an outstanding sports coupling as your Con Communications Connection Nominee of the Week. And at the end of the month, you simply need to go to connecttristates.com and vote for your favorite of our 4 highlight producers. And simply by voting, you become eligible to win a prize package. So we've had 2 for you. Going to go a little different route today. Back to the All-Star basketball. You saw it just minutes ago. How about our man Aaron Edwards with the best seated pass of the year from his derriere, if you will. That's a dime worth showing you one more time as Mr. Edwards had himself a heck of a day. Look at the snare right there, just pulling that ball away and getting the easy 3-point play to his man. Again, Aaron Edwards is your nominee, your 3rd nominee for the month of March for your Con Communications Connection. In case you've forgotten, earlier this month it was Garrett Serbin playing point center for Canton High School and Jessica Grimes with a game-winning home run for Quincy University. If either of those 2 strike your fancy more than Aaron Edwards' big dime right there, well, again, at the end of March, you vote, and by voting, you will be eligible, my friends, for a very nice prize package from Con Communications. Well, for the past 3 years, Rick Miles has held a stranglehold on the Quincy City table tennis title. Tonight, his quest for a four-peat, ran headlong into Christopher Sheeler, the young man from Quincy High School. You see Mr. Miles there going for the four-peat. Sheeler, you will see here in just a second, farther away from you. And this, my friends, was an absolute 5-set war tonight, but the dynasty has come to an end. Sheeler got it done tonight. Ends up with a first-place finish, ends Rick Miles' stranglehold. I know this was a hotly contested match, as you will see here. This was a really nice point here scored by Mr. Sheeler, who takes the city title. I also believe he was your first ever junior city titleist. Or actually, he's your reigning junior city titleist, but now he is your city titleist as well. Congratulations to Christopher Sheeler taking first place. Rick Miles has to settle for second. Christopher's dad, Paul, is your 3rd place finisher. Oh my goodness, great stuff there. Congratulations to all of the placers.